There are some betrayals that break your heart, and there are others that change who you are forever. Welcome to Cammy the Storyteller. This is the story of a woman who gave her whole heart, her trust, her life, and was stabbed by the people she loved the most. But in the end, she didn't lose. She rose. Amara lived a life many people prayed for. She had a loving husband, Daniel, 2 beautiful children, Joy and Nathan, a small but growing business, and a peaceful home. People said, Amara is lucky. But Amara didn't believe in luck. She believed in hard work, loyalty, and love. She trusted easily, loved deeply, forgave quickly. Her best friend, Lillian, had been in her life since university. They cried together, prayed together, laughed together, and dreamed together. Lillian knew everything about Amara. Her fears, her weaknesses, her secrets, her marriage struggles. Daniel worked long hours. He said he was doing it for the family. Amara believed him. She always believed him. She never imagined that while she was holding their home together, 2 people she trusted were slowly tearing it apart behind her back. It started with small things. Daniel stopped coming home early. His phone was always on silent. He smiled at messages he never explained. Amara noticed, but she ignored it. He's tired. Work is stressful. Marriage has phases. Lillian noticed too. Instead of calming Amara, she fed her fears gently, like poison served with honey. You deserve better, Lillian would say. Men change when they start cheating. Maybe he doesn't love you like before. But then she'd add, I'm just worried about you. Amara would cry on Lillian's shoulder, never knowing that Lillian's arms were already wrapped around her husband behind her back. One evening, Amara came home earlier than usual. She felt tired, emotionally drained. She wanted to rest. As she opened the bedroom door, she saw Daniel's jacket on the bed, and another woman's shoes on the floor. Her heart stopped. She walked slowly toward the bathroom, and heard laughter. A woman's laugh. A laugh she recognized. It was Lillian. Amara didn't scream, didn't shout, didn't cry. She just turned and walked out. She walked until her legs couldn't carry her anymore. Her best friend, her husband, her home, gone. In one moment. Daniel came home that night. He knelt. He begged. He cried. Lillian called. She apologized. She claimed it was a mistake. She claimed she loved Amara. Amara didn't answer. She went quiet. Not because she was strong, but because she was empty. She stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Stopped trusting. She stayed in the house for the children, but her heart had already left. She told Daniel to leave. He begged to stay. She refused. Lillian tried to visit. Amara shut the door in her face. The world she built collapsed, and no one noticed how deeply she was bleeding inside. As if one betrayal wasn't enough, Amara later discovered that Daniel and Lillian had been planning more than just an affair. They had secretly started a business together, using money from Amara's savings. Her savings. The money she had been keeping for her children's future. Daniel had access. Lillian had influence. Together, they had drained her accounts. Not only had they broken her heart, they had robbed her future. Amara collapsed when she found out. Not physically, but emotionally. She cried like she had never cried before. Friends started choosing sides. Some believed Daniel's story. Some believed Lillian's tears. Some said, marriage is complicated. People make mistakes. Forgive and move on. But no one saw the depth of the betrayal. Amara was no longer just a betrayed wife. She was a broken woman. Bills piled up. Her business struggled. Her health declined. She smiled in public, but cried herself to sleep every night. One day, while scrolling aimlessly online, Amara saw a quote. The same betrayal that breaks you can also build you. She stayed at it for a long time, and for the first time in months, she whispered, I don't want to die like this. That night, she prayed, not for revenge, Not for justice, but for strength. She decided she would rise. Not for Daniel. Not for Lillian. But for herself and her children. She started rebuilding. Slowly. Painfully. Quietly. Amara poured herself into work. She took online courses. She revived her business. She started offering services she never believed she could handle. She woke up at dawn. Worked late nights. Cried in between. But she didn't stop. People who once ignored her began to notice her success. She became financially stable again. Stronger. Smarter. More careful. But still, her heart was wounded. She trusted no one. 2 years later, Daniel returned. He looked thinner. Older. Weaker. He stood at her door like a stranger. "I lost everything," he said. Lillian had left him. The business they built collapsed. He was drowning in debt. He had nowhere to go. Amara listened, silently. Her heart remembered the pain. Her mind remembered the betrayal. Her soul remembered the nights she cried herself to sleep. And yet, she saw something else. A broken man. Daniel begged to come back, not as a husband, but as a father. He wanted to see the children, be part of their lives, start again, in any way. Amara struggled. She didn't want him, but her children missed their father. She didn't trust him, but she believed in second chances, carefully. She allowed him to visit, but not to stay. Not yet. One evening, Amara received a message from an unknown number. It read, "Lillian destroyed you, but she also destroyed herself. And Daniel was never the only one she betrayed." Attached were documents, emails, contracts, financial records. Lillian had been stealing from multiple people, using trust as a weapon, using friendship as bait. Amara realized something. Lillian never loved Daniel. She never loved Amara. She only loved herself. And Daniel had been a tool. Daniel finally confessed everything. How Lillian had seduced him. How she manipulated his emotions. How she turned him against Amara. How he slowly became someone he didn't recognize. He cried, truly cried. "I lost the best thing in my life because I listened to the wrong voice," he said. Amara listened. Not as his wife, but as a woman who once loved him deeply. Time passed. Healing continued. Daniel became consistent. He didn't rush Amara. Didn't pressure her. Didn't manipulate. He focused on the children. On rebuilding trust. Slowly. Amara observed. She tested. She waited. Her heart still hurt. But it was no longer bleeding. One evening, Daniel said something that changed everything. "I don't want you to forgive me. I want to earn you." That night, Amara cried. Not from pain, but from release. She realized something. Love after betrayal is not the same. But it can be deeper. Not naive. Not blind. But intentional. Lillian was arrested. Not because of Amara, but because of her own actions. Fraud. Deceit. Manipulation. The woman who destroyed lives had destroyed her own. Amara didn't celebrate. She didn't smile. She simply whispered, "Justice has its own time." Years later, Amara stood in her living room, watching her children laugh, watching Daniel help with homework, watching peace fill her home again. They weren't perfect, but they were real. Daniel never became the man he once was. He became a better one. Amara never became the woman she once was. She became a stronger one. They rebuilt their marriage, not on trust alone, but on truth, consistency, and accountability. And Amara finally understood. Betrayal didn't destroy her. It refined her. Some betrayals come to break you. Others come to wake you. Not every broken relationship ends in loss. Some end in growth. Not every betrayal is the end. Some are the beginning of your strongest chapter. Thank you for listening to Cammy the Storyteller. If you enjoyed the story, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting stories.